Your baby cannot tell you they love you. Not yet. Not in words. The phrase you are waiting to hear, the one that will arrive somewhere between 15 and 24 months, when the language system finally has enough scaffolding to produce it, is not available to them right now. But they are telling you, constantly, in 10 specific ways that developmental psychologists have studied for decades. 10 compliments your baby is giving you every single day, in the only language their developing brain knows how to use. Most parents see these signs and have no idea what they mean. By the end of this video, you will see your baby completely differently. Drop your baby's age in the comments. I want to know who I am talking to today. The first compliment starts in 3 seconds. 1. They share their food with you. You are sitting with your baby. They are eating something. A soggy cracker. A half-mashed piece of banana. A chocolate bar that has been in their mouth, in their fist, dropped on the carpet, picked back up, and is now in a state of being that can only be described as biologically concerning, and they extend their tiny chubby hand toward you. They place it in your palm. They smile. Most parents laugh, or they politely refuse. Almost none of them know what just happened. Food sharing in human infants is one of the most extensively studied behaviors in developmental psychology, and one of the most underappreciated. Research from Harvard's Laboratory for Developmental Studies, led by developmental psychologist Felix Warneken, has documented food-sharing behavior in babies as young as 14 months. The babies who shared most readily were the ones who had developed the strongest attachment relationships with their primary caregivers. What your baby is doing when they hand you that slobbery, half-eaten thing is performing one of the oldest social acts in human evolution. They are telling you, in a language older than spoken language, I value you enough to give you my food. The thing my body needs, the thing I want for myself. I am offering it to you because you matter to me. I wrote about this in my ebook, They Can't Say It Yet. There is a line in the chapter on early attachment that says it directly. Your baby is not a passive recipient of care. They are an active, evaluating, learning, feeling person. The food offering is one of the clearest expressions of that active evaluation. Your baby has decided you are someone worth giving to. The book is in the description if you want to go deeper. Now back to the compliments. Take the food. You do not have to eat it. Just receive it warmly. Acknowledge the gift. The acknowledgement is the entire reward your baby was seeking. 2. They bring you objects from across the room. A toy, a leaf, a piece of fluff from the carpet. They crawl, then later toddle, across the room, sometimes a surprisingly long distance, to bring you something specific. They do not always want you to keep it. Often, the moment you take it, they want it back. The point was not the transfer. The point was the journey. This is called proto-declarative pointing and object showing, and it emerges around 9 to 12 months. Research from Michael Tomasello at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology has demonstrated that this behavior is one of the strongest early predictors of secure attachment, language development, and pro-social behavior in childhood. When your baby brings you something, they are inviting you into joint attention, the practice of sharing focus on the same object with another person. They are saying, see this, be in this with me. Your awareness of my experience matters to me. That invitation is one of the most generous things a developing human being can offer. It requires the cognitive capacity to know that you have a separate mind, the social capacity to want that mind to engage with theirs, and the relational capacity to have selected you specifically as the person worth bringing things to. Your baby could bring objects to anyone. They bring them to you. Receive what they bring. Look at it. Acknowledge it. Even when it is the same dust bunny they brought you 20 minutes ago. 3. They mirror your facial expressions back to you. Watch your baby's face when you smile broadly at them. Within seconds, sometimes within a fraction of a second, their face shifts. The corners of the mouth lift. The eyes soften. They are not just smiling at your smile, they are mirroring it. This is the mirror neuron system at work, the network of brain cells that fires both when an animal performs an action and when it observes another animal perform the same action. In human infants, the mirror neuron system is one of the most rapidly developing neural networks in the first years of life. Research from developmental psychologist Andrew Meltzoff at the University of Washington has shown that newborns within hours of birth will mirror simple facial expressions, sticking out their tongues at adults who stick out their tongues, opening their mouths in response to mouth opening. The capacity for facial mirroring is hardwired. But here is what is interesting. Your baby does not mirror everyone equally. They mirror the people they are paying the most attention to, the people whose faces they have categorized as worth tracking, the people who matter. When your baby's face shifts in response to yours, when their smile follows your smile, their concerned look follows your concerned look. They are doing something that requires having selected you as someone worth attending to. They are paying you the silent compliment of, your inner state matters enough to me that my body is automatically reflecting it, that mirroring is not just behavioral, it is neurological. They are practicing being you, and they have chosen to. 4. They seek you out specifically when something hurts. Your baby falls. They are with other people in the room, loving people, family members, caregivers they know well. They look around, they scan, and they crawl, or run, or reach toward one specific person. You. This is the attachment hierarchy in action. Around 8 to 9 months, your baby's brain organizes the people in their life into a specific hierarchy of safety. Primary attachment figure, secondary attachment figures, familiar people, strangers. When distress hits, the hierarchy activates instantly. The baby's nervous system makes a calculation, faster than conscious thought, about who has the highest probability of providing effective regulation. The person they go to is the person their brain has identified as most reliable for safety. Not most loving, not most present, most reliable. The person whose responses to their previous distress have most consistently produced the result of safety. You earned that ranking through every previous moment of distress when you came, through every cry that was met with warmth, through every fall that was followed by your arms. When your baby seeks you out specifically in the moment of pain, they are paying you the deepest compliment a developing human being can pay. They are saying, of all the people in this room, you are the one I trust to make this okay. That trust is not given easily. It was earned by you in the 1,000 ordinary moments that came before this one. 5. They fall asleep on your body specifically. Sleep is one of the most vulnerable states a human being can be in. The infant sleeping brain is incapable of self-defense, cannot mobilize a stress response, cannot even maintain its own basic regulatory functions effectively. For your baby to fall asleep on your body, particularly to fall asleep quickly, easily, with their face pressed against your chest or neck, they have to feel something specific, safety at a level deep enough that their nervous system gives permission to enter the most defenseless state available to them. Your baby may fall asleep in the crib, they may fall asleep in the car seat, they may fall asleep on the floor, but the sleep they choose, when given the choice, the sleep they reach for, the sleep that drops them most quickly, is sleep on your body. This is not preference, it is biological selection. Their nervous system has identified your body as the safest sleeping environment available, and it is going there when given the chance. The compliment is silent. It does not announce itself. It is communicated only in the choice, the unmistakable preference for your chest over every other surface in the world. 6. They reach for your face and pause. Most reaches babies make are exploratory or playful. The reach toward your face is different. When your baby reaches for your face, they often pause. Their hand lands on your cheek or your mouth or your forehead, and they stop. They look at you. The hand stays. This is something developmental psychologists call deliberate touch, sustained, intentional contact with the caregiver's face. It is observed almost exclusively in babies who have formed a primary attachment bond. They do this with their attachment figures. They do not generally do this with strangers. What they are doing in that moment is confirming, through direct physical contact with the most important object in their world, your face, they are verifying that you are real, present, accessible. They are claiming you. The hand on your face is the closest your baby can come to saying, of all the faces in the world, this one, I know this one is mine. Receive the reach. Do not pull away from the small hand grabbing your nose. The grab is a gift. 7. They check on you across a room. Your baby is playing on the floor. You are nearby but not directly engaged. They are absorbed in something, and then they pause. They look up. They scan the room until they find you. They make eye contact. Sometimes a small smile, sometimes just visual confirmation. Then they return to what they were doing. This is the secure base in action, the behavioral signature of attachment in its most complete form. The baby who feels secure does not cling constantly. They explore confidently, but they maintain a periodic check-in that confirms the safe person is still there. The check-in is the regulatory anchor. As long as you are in the visual field, the baby's nervous system has the safety it needs to continue exploring. The check-in is brief. It does not interrupt the play, but it is happening every few minutes with absolute regularity. Each glance is a quiet compliment. Each one says, I am okay because you are there. The world is safe to engage with because you are watching. I am exploring because of you. The most beautiful version of attachment is not constant contact. It is the brief glance across the room, the pause, the confirmation, then back to the world. 8. They go silent when you start talking. You enter the room. Your baby is babbling, vocalizing, making the specific musical sounds that infant pre-speech is full of. You start talking, not to them necessarily, just talking to another adult on the phone, narrating something to yourself. Your baby goes quiet. This is not random. This is one of the most extensively documented features of language acquisition. Infants attend preferentially to the voices of their primary caregivers, particularly to speech with positive emotional prosody. When your voice begins, your baby's auditory system shifts into receiving mode. They stop their own vocalization to make space for yours. Research on infant-directed speech and language development has consistently shown that babies who pause their own vocalization in response to caregiver speech show stronger language outcomes than babies who do not. The pausing is the listening is the learning, but it is also a complement. Your baby is communicating in the only way available to them. Your voice is more important than my own right now. I will stop talking so I can hear you better. Children who grow up to be good listeners often started as babies who paused for the voices of the people they loved. That capacity began here. 9. They protest when you hand them off. Most parents experience this as a problem. The baby was happy. You hand them to grandma, to a friend, to the other parent. They burst into tears. You feel guilty. You take them back. The cycle repeats. What is actually happening is one of the strongest possible signs of secure attachment. Your baby has built a primary bond and organized their entire sense of safety around it. Other people in their life may be loved, may be familiar, may be welcomed under most circumstances, but they are not the primary anchor. When you hand your baby to someone else, you are removing them from their primary anchor and placing them with a secondary one. Their nervous system registers this as a regulation downgrade. They protest because the system that was just stable has been disrupted. This is not your baby being clingy. It is the expected developmental output of a baby who has built a strong primary attachment, which is exactly what you have been working to build. The cry is not failure. The cry is evidence. Your baby has chosen you. Of all the people available to them, they have chosen you as the one whose presence makes regulation possible. That choice, repeated every time they protest a handoff, is one of the deepest compliments they are capable of offering. 10. They settle when you walk into the room, sometimes before they even see you. This is the last one, and it is the most subtle, and it is the one most parents miss entirely. Your baby is upset, crying with another caregiver, or fussing in their crib, or generally dysregulated. You walk into the room. Sometimes they see you, and the calming begins. But sometimes, and this is the part that is genuinely extraordinary, the calming begins before they see you. When you are still in the hallway, when the door has not yet opened, when they could not possibly know visually that you are coming, they calm anyway. The mechanism is olfactory and auditory. Your baby's nervous system has been built to detect you specifically, your scent carried on the air currents through the house, your footsteps with their specific weight and rhythm, the particular sound your hand makes on the door handle. These cues, which most adults filter out as background, are foreground for your baby. Their brain has spent months learning the signature of your approach. When the cues activate, the regulatory response activates. Cortisol drops, heart rate stabilizes, the crying eases before you have even appeared. That recognition is not a skill, it is not a behavior, it is a built capacity, built specifically and only for you. Your baby's nervous system has, over thousands of repeated exposures, developed a dedicated subsystem whose entire function is detecting your imminent arrival. You are the only person in the world whose presence produces this response in this baby. The only one. That is not a small thing. That is the most personalized neurological infrastructure your baby has constructed in their life so far, and it was built for you. 10 compliments. None of them spoken. All of them communicated, every day, in the small moments of your ordinary life with this small person, who cannot yet tell you what they mean. The food sharing, the objects brought across rooms, the mirrored expressions, the seeking when hurt, the sleep on your body, the reach for your face, the check across the room, the silence when you speak, the protest at handoffs, the settling before you appear. These are not coincidences. They are not behaviors you are imagining. They are documented developmental patterns that emerge specifically and consistently in babies who have formed strong primary attachment to a specific caregiver. You are that caregiver. Every one of these compliments is your baby telling you, in the only language they have, what you have built together over the months of their life so far. The trust, the bond, the specific neurological infrastructure that has been growing inside their developing brain, dedicated to recognizing and responding to you. You did this. in the ordinary moments. Through the cries you came to, the looks you returned, the presence you offered when nothing dramatic was happening and nobody was watching. And every day, in 10 specific ways, your baby is thanking you. Tell me in the comments, which of these 10 do you see your baby doing most often? I read every single one. Drop your baby's age too if you haven't yet. Subscribe to Mindful Parenting. We'll be here every week.